A space game with aliens and spaceships and lasers. There's no swords, no dragons or castles, but don't worry, you're on the right channel. What's up guys, Marty here with another video, and today we're talking about a space game, Nova Drift. What is Nova Drift, and should you play it? If you follow this channel, you know I have a deep obsession with roguelike games, that whole genre, whatever you want to call them. As soon as I see those upgrades, new unlocks and progression, I'm like a kid playing Fortnite, eyes light up, Mountain Dew in hand, and the world around me fades away. If you're into these kind of games, stick around, give the video a chance, because this game has shocked me. It might not look like a space shooter on the surface, but underneath, this is a deep, roguelike progression game. I was gifted this game by the kind folks at Pixel Jam due to my love of roguelike games.
And I'll be honest, my expectations were pretty low, but I was surprised.
As it's probably the second space game I've ever played, and probably the second game in my Steam library other than Faster Than Light space game. But yeah, I'm kind of hooked. They haven't crossed my palms with silver or gold to praise the game, so you can expect an unbiased review here. So if I tell you I'm addicted to it, I'm telling you because I don't want you to miss out on it. I'm going to cover the pros and I'm going to go over the cons, and I'm going to give you an overall opinion after my time with the game. So, the game plays out in a 2D space environment. If you're a boomer, it will take you right back to your childhood playing the Atari. And then the wispy tentacles of addiction will pull you in, and the lights flicker, and you see that big button. Press space to upgrade. And then it's got you. The game is an action RPG. You start as a little ship with a little gun, and you upgrade and evolve until you're some overpowered monstrosity. You fight waves of ships, aliens, and bosses. Tons of depth, and the more you play, the more you unlock, like most great roguelike games. On the surface, you can upgrade your gear and your mods, and the guys claim there's over 200 upgrades available. I've not tested that theory out myself, but there was more than enough. There's more than I could count, and there was always new ones every run I had. You can upgrade your weapon, your shield, or your body, and you can switch them around. And then there's a ton of mods like neutral upgrades. So for example, there's a whole tree of branching upgrades just for drones. So do you want your drones to follow next to you? Do you want them to pursue the enemy? Do you want them to shoot rockets? And that's just a whole upgrade path for one type of thing in the game. You can upgrade like defensives, missiles, weapons, mobility, and more. The beauty in the game is the different playstyles and the different upgrades that come from your gear and how you combo them with other upgrades. So like shields, they're pretty standard. Some are stronger, weaker. You can have healing shields, pull shields and stuff. You got weapons, nuke weapons, drones, lasers, grenades, missiles. Some of my favorite ones, there's like a beam laser, which was kind of like a really short range laser. So you got to go right next to them, but then it just melts the bosses down. And then there's like long range missiles. There's loads of different weapons. But the thing that got me, and I want to show some of this in the video, is the body. So you can change your body, and that kind of changes the whole combo. So if you think something like Slay the Spire, changing your body is like changing the character. Everything else will revolve around it. So I've tried like 5 or 6 of the different bodies in the game, and there's a lot. So a couple of examples that surprise me. There's like a stealth body, which makes your ship invisible. So if you don't fire, you go invisible. And then if you get close to an enemy, when you attack, you do double damage or increased damage. My favorite, I definitely want to show this one, is the ship carrier. So you carry a bunch of smaller ships, like a ship carrier, and then it releases all these little drones out, and they'll fly out and attack your enemies, and you can upgrade them and progress down that path. On one of my playthroughs, I paired this with all the different drone mods, and literally just sat back and felt like some Imperial fleet commander, just leaving my minions to do all the work. There's like a Leviathan where you play as like a giant serpent, similar to like Slitherio. That's snake to boomers again. I wasn't sure what to combo with this with, and I died pretty quickly as the big snake. I tried that twice and I couldn't get it to work. But yeah, there's going to be some crazy combo with the big snake. I had a build where I took a speed body and was basically zipping around with a shotgun, and then like my thrusters were leaving like a trail behind me that was burning people. Yeah, there's some crazy builds you can make in the game. And there's loads of combos to try, and it's one of those where you stop, you finish, and then you unlock like a ton more upgrades, and you just instantly click next game. Different modes, challenges. The challenge mode is kind of similar to Ascensions in Slay the Spire. I keep mentioning that game, I'm sorry. It just gets more difficult and more rewarding. And yeah, if you follow this channel, you know I'm going to stay unbiased. So before you go put it in your basket, I am going to give you the negatives as well. Firstly, it does need balance. There's certain builds that make the game too easy, and even on the harder difficulties, it does get too easy. And the second issue is the random events. So most games, they think like Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon or other roguelikes, there's random events and random rooms that will just surprise you. This game doesn't have that. I think in my playthrough, a couple of them was like a meteor shower. There just wasn't many like random shocking events. What you see is what you get. There's no other rooms. There's no like vendors that turn up. This is the game. But that doesn't take anything away from the gameplay. The gameplay is polished to perfection. But just don't expect any more. What you see is what you get. And again, this isn't a negative really, but the game is still in early access. I'm going to put up a roadmap which the guys shared with me, and this is all the stuff coming out. It looks really exciting. So like new enemies, new bosses, new modes, more variety. But this isn't the version I've played. Obviously, I'm playing it today when all these upgrades are still to come. So yeah, the game is great, the game is fun, and the game is addictive. I don't know, it's a roguelike game. It tickles that little node in your brain and ruins your life, and then you fall into a hole of 5 hours, and you never get that time back, but you don't regret it and you do it again the next day. So despite the flaws, the game is fun, addictive, and it's so cheap. The game's like £11 on Steam, which is what, like $15? Yeah, it's so fun, and there's updates coming out. So I would say if you like the look of it and you like roguelikes, it shouldn't be a matter of if you buy the game, but when. Are you going to buy it now, or are you going to buy it when all this stuff's out and it's in a better state? So yeah, that's my opinion. Great game, try it. Just don't expect too much, but you definitely get value for money from this game. If you made it to the end of this video, know that I appreciate the hell out of you. I try to cover a few different styles of games, but roguelikes will always be close to my heart, and I will always try and review little games like this that maybe aren't getting the exposure they deserve, or that maybe surprise me. I think I've covered a few like this. If you've enjoyed the time on the channel, liking, subscribing really does help me out, and it will get more games like this straight to you as I make them. Other than that, thanks so much guys, I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support lately. If you've been liking, commenting, all the people who subscribed recently, thank you so much. I've been putting a lot of effort into YouTube recently, and I want to keep making videos as regular as I'm making them now. This constant schedule I've been doing, I want to keep it up. And everyone who supports me motivates me to keep doing that. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.